on the perceptron, then the multiple computational efficiency using the long short-term memory models, and then we have created the convolutional neural network around 2012. However, 2017 we got the transformers, which are nothing but a pre-trained models which are embedded into our generative AI large language models, and which has helped us to build the many of the open source tools into the generative AI side. So moving next, I conducted a survey with the 50 participants coming from 6 business functions, including the research and innovation, finance, controlling, operations, supply chain, sales and marketing. So this was a diversified set of the audience who participated in the study, and definitely the largest population were 0 to 5 years. And also the second highest participants were more than 20 years. So that's a little bit the demographic of the study. I also tried that, okay, where the generative AI have been used across. So we found that a majority of the applications have been the text generation and the automating the software development and the coding efforts across the organization. Definitely, it has gained a widespread recognition because of its acceptance. And many of the tools have tried creating the interfaces, which doesn't take any of the technical space also, or technical capability to build the solution. So that have been the key factors, one of the generative AI becoming the favorite technology tool over the, I would say, multi-decades, what we have studied in the past. Again, I studied that is there a relationship between the business function and the usage. So I applied a chi-square test on my population, and I find that there's no significant relationship with respect to a function. However, we can see that the number of users are more coming from the tech, IT, digital, and transformation side. But basis the test, it clarifies that it doesn't have a significant relationship. It is used across the business function, be it HR, finance, controlling, not limited to the only the tech and the IT kind of the function. So I think this have been a very revealing one of the finding from this study. Then I tried studying the professional experience.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm at the 5 minute.
Yes, sir.
Sure, I'll take.
Sir, please conclude.
Sure. So then I have started the analysis on the studying the association on the professional experience and the usage of generative AI. Again, it has shown a certain trend. So early career professionals, their adaptability is higher. Definitely, it can lead maybe due to the curiosity and their ability to explore the newer technology, and also to the very experienced professionals. So then I referred back to my research. So I found that the generative AI is definitely going to create value for the professions who are at a earlier stage of the career or at the later stage of their expertise. And this is just because of they can write the more efficient prompts and commands. However, mid-career professionals, there is still a kind of a dilemma, or they are still looking for the more exposure and upliftment to leverage the generative AI as a capability for their productivity gain. Now I quickly summarize on my conclusion. So I've seen that there is a significant awareness right now in the business functions. The more users are into the tech, data, and AI function, however, the usage is getting across. There's no statistical significance. The business value creation is happening across the functions. However, manufacturing and research and innovation, they are at a little lower side of the response type, and it's used across. However, text generation and the code is the highest majority of the concentration of the usage. There's still the video and audio generation is taking place, and definitely upskilling is going to be one of the rewarding factor. If we reward this upskilling in the organization, possibly it will drive the better adoption into the usage of the generative AI. So that I just conclude here, and I'm open for the question and answer.
So if anyone have any question, you can ask Mr. Shiv Kumar, sir.
Mr. Shiv Kumar,
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Shiv Kumar, just I have a query regarding this.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about generative AI.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, we know that what generative AI tools are doing, right?
Yes, sir.
Many people, they are using that kind of tools.
Yes, sir.
Different purposes. Right?
Yes, sir.
So just what actually I have been observed from last 2 to 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Just I'm sharing my experience, and I wanted to know one thing.
Sure, sir.
What about your perceptions about the generative AI tools? Is it helpful for the research work? It will be helpful for the research work, those who are using these tools, those who are adopting these tools. Because of many
Right.
people's nowadays, many researchers, many scholars, they are using that kind of tools for
Right.
different purposes, right?
Right, sir.
So what your perception? Because of you are
Sure,
the
sir.
scholar and you are doing the you are
Yes, sir.
pursuing PhD in a very good institute, and
Right, sir.
so
So,
what your perception?
sure, sir. So, sir, I'm alum of Harvard Business School as well. So, I can tell you the academia and the researchers are going to get benefited immensely. Earlier, we used to have the case discussion with the professors and the student, but now in the some of the HBS ecosystem, and possibly we'll have in Indian business schools as well, they're adding the generative AI as a participant. So imagine I as an individual and professor as a researcher and the professor on the topic, we all have exposure. We have in the practical exposure, but they are embedding now generative AI as a participant who is going to do the question answering and the debate on the cases and the business challenges we face. So I strongly believe in the right usage of this technology, and this will really, I can tell you, sometime I as a professional also get stuck in ideation. Then sometime in L'Oreal, because I work with this company, so we created the internal ecosystem just to avoid the any of the security threats. And this tool, we don't do any marketing content directly by the generative AI tools. There is always human in the space because you never know when the tool can go wrong. But we take it to definitely challenge ourselves to think on the next a kind of a frontier of any of the ideas, product development, or the marketing campaigns. But definitely, like as a researcher or professional, I would not advise just take the research as the outcome as a granted coming from the
Why
generative
I'm
AI.
asking you, just
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt, why I'm asking you, because of this is like it's very true, which is happening in education industry right now. I'm not talking about for anyone, I'm sharing my experience. Nowadays, you can see within a week, uh, the people are preparing the paper, right? The scholars are preparing the paper and they're submitting the book chapter because of I am working as an editor in many books and many
right,
journals. Okay,
right,
and some of the books have been published from Taylor and Fancy and like Sage and like Emerald also, where I'm working as an editor. So what actually I have been observed from last 2 years, what actually I have shared with you. So because many
right,
people they are using this and they're doing and they're preparing their paper within a week, within 2 to 3 days, right? With the help of
right,
these kind of tools, with the help of that kind of tool.
right.
So that's why just I was asking the question, what actually your perception, because of you are pursuing your PhD in very good institute. So definitely uh, you should give some answer regarding this. What actually
Yes, sir.
I'm expecting
So
from you.
yes, sir.
Uh,
So my stand is that the researcher or as an individual, I should take this kind of tool to challenge my thought process
no,
and
why
to
actually,
think
sir,
on it.
actually, why I'm like telling you,
Yes,
Shiv
sir.
Kumar, because of see, I am preparing one paper because I am collaborating with many people. I am preparing a paper for a paper. We are taking minimum 3 to 4 months
Right,
to complete a full paper,
right,
right?
sir.
And then we are submitting based on the journals. We are preparing from last. To be very honest, one paper we have started from December 2024.
Right, sir.
Collaboratively, we are working. Okay, December 2. It's March. So already we have passed 3 to 4 months, and still we are working.
Right,
Still
sir.
we are working. And some of the people they are preparing the paper within a week, within within 10 days or within a week, and they are submitting.
Right. So, sir,
So
my stand is
I,
that
I'll be not
there,
taking so much time for that because
yeah.
of many people are there, they are waiting to give the
Yeah, my
presentation.
last line is, sir, there has to be a ethical boundaries. We should, as I said, that neither in industry nor in academic, we should take the output of generative AI granted to publish paper or to take a business decision. It has to have the human assessment and evolution, and hence it is a tool. Definitely, every tool comes up with advantage, disadvantage. So we should, as a researcher, we should use it with the responsibility, just to enhance our intellectual and technical capabilities around it, but not to just publish paper on generative, like using generative AI to do a write up. And I
Okay.
can tell you, sir, the patterns can be identified. If you, I have seen if people are, let's say, like creating marketing content, then always it will bring certain adjectives, superlative adjectives, and which I said, okay, this is not the content possibly you should use for the any of the marketing publishing campaigns and so on. So that is, even I'm the CDO of the company, sir. So I need to drive this kind of ethical governance forum for the using this kind of tools.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
Yeah,
sir.
please. Thank you, Shubhajit. Please,
Thank you,
next
Mr. Ship.
participant.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Fiza. Thank you, Professor Indrajit. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Shiv
Thank
Kumar,
you.
sir. That was a
Thank you.
very insightful presentation. Moving on, we are pleased to invite Mr. Ajay Singh, who will present the paper titled Artificial Intelligence and Banking, a Partnership for Growth and Innovation. Mr. Ajay Singh.
I think he is not in meeting.
Okay, he is not in the meeting. So moving on, we are pleased to invite Ms. Namrata Yadav, who will present in the paper titled Balancing Traditional and Technology, an Economic and Sustainability Comparison of Organic Farming Models in India and Global Innovations.
Ma'am, I think your network is not stable.
Can you hear me?
Ma'am, I think your network is not stable.
I switch off the video. Probably my voice would be better. Is it better?
No, ma'am.
One second. Give me a second. I'll just leave the meeting and rejoin if that would help.
Okay, ma'am, sure.
Yeah. Was it audible now?
Yeah, you are audible now. You can continue.
Right, I have my screen. One second.
Ma'am, you can rejoin. We will continue with other participants in the meanwhile.
It's still not okay. Okay.
Yeah. So moving on, we are pleased to invite Mr. Nagendra Shekhar, who will be presenting the paper on the topic AI Transforming the Power Distribution, a study of BSES Rajdhani Power Limited. Mr. Nagendra Shekhar.
Sir, I think he is not in the meeting.
Okay. So moving on, we are pleased to invite Ms. Ritu, who will be presenting the paper on harnessing artificial intelligence for sustainable growth, opportunities, challenges, and the future of organic products. Ms. Ritu.
Hi, Ms. Ritu, are you there in the meeting? Ms.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Kindly
But
share.
actually, I'm trying to connect my thing through my laptop because my presentation is on the laptop. Can you just give me some 5 minutes, ma'am? Yeah, after next candidate, if you can allow.
Um, okay, so
Okay, ma'am. We are moving on.
So for the next participant, we have Ms. Namrata Kishnani, who will be presenting the paper on unveiling AI's dual role in sustainable wildlife tourism. Ms. Namrata. Are you there, Ms. Namrata? So I think she's not there. So moving on.
wait a minute, Shubhajit. Namrata Yadav, are you there? Namrata Yadav.
Namrata Kishnani.
Yes. Harsh Sehrawat, are you ready with your presentation? Harsh Sehrawat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Kindly share your screen and start with the presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Over to you, sir.
Is the screen visible? Ma'am, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Sir, you can start your presentation.
sir, please start.
Uh, Good morning, everyone. My name is Harsh Sharawat. I am from JK Business School, and I am here to present a research paper on digital leadership and business model innovation, digital transformation of a higher education. So here we start. So there's a question why this study matters. So digital transformation is a no longer choice but necessity for a higher education institutions. Industry 5.0 and COVID-19 have pushed industries and college to adopt new technologies, digital strategies, and innovation business models. However, many institutes struggle with these changing due to poor leadership, rigid organization culture, and outdated business models. So our study explores how digital leadership play a critical role in enabling business model innovation and successful digital transformation. So our research addressed three key questions like how does digital leadership impact business model innovation and organization culture? How does digital leadership influence digital dynamic capabilities? And how does a business model innovation and organization culture impact digital capabilities? So by answering these questions, our study provides a theoretical framework that helps higher education institutions navigate digital transformation effectively. To analyze digital transformation, we use two theories. First is INT, institutional theories, and second was dynamic capabilities theories, DCT. So when we talk about INT, it's explain how organization adapt to internal and external pressure, such as technological advancement and competitions. When we talk about DCT, dynamic capabilities theory, so it describes how organizations develop capabilities like agility, adaptability, innovation to remain competitive in market. So these theories provide a strong foundations to understand how digital leaders influence high education institutions and drive successful digital transformations. Uh, this study is based on extensive review of literature related to digital transformation, digital leadership, business model innovation, organization culture, digital dynamic capabilities, and reviews draw from a source like Science Direct, Web of Science, or Google Scholars. So we identify the gap. The gap was while digital transformation studies exist, there is a limited integration of leadership theories and digital transformation in higher education institutions, and they are not yet explored very efficiently and deeply. So our contribution is this study present a conceptual framework conceptual framework linking digital leadership, business model innovation, and digital dynamic capabilities, addressing this research gap. So there are some research methodologies that we use in research. First, our research develop a conceptual framework and theoretical analysis rather than the empirical. Model
Sir, your voice is cutting. You are not audible.
Oh, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. So I talk about research methodologies that the methods we use in this research. So our study developed a conceptual framework based on theoretical concepts, theoretical analysis rather than the empirical data. So we synthesize insights from previous studies to create a model that connect digital leadership, business model innovation, and digital transformations. So there are some digital leadership overview. So who are the digital leaders? What we means when we hear about the digital leadership? The digital leadership refers to those leaders who guide the organizations through technological changes. Unlike traditional leadership, digital leaders embrace technology and encourage innovations. They promote data-driven and decision-making, foster collaborations and adaptability. So in higher education, digital leaders help universities integrate AI, cloud computing, analytics, IoT to enhance teaching, research, and administration. So when we talk digital transformation in education, so post-COVID, uh, post-COVID, digital transformation is no longer a choice, but it's become a necessity for higher education institutions. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerate the need for online learning, digital classrooms, and automations in higher education institutions. So, however, many institutions fails at digital transformation due to poor leadership, lack of digital capabilities, and their rigid organization culture because they do not want to uh, adapt technology transformation. They believe that traditional method of teaching is the best method, and they do not want to adapt those technology transformation that is going on. So when we talk about business model innovations, the business model innovations involves rethinking how organization create, deliver, and capture values. When we talk about the value creations, they create a digital learning platforms, AI-driven teaching methods, online platforms. And when we talk about the video value delivery, so they create hybrid models of in-person and online learning so everyone can have access and everyone have facilities to learn something new. And when we talk about the value capture, so they create subscription based educations, micro credential programs, and etc. And by adopting these innovation business models, higher education institutions can remain competitive and future ready in market. So there are some key findings of our research. First is digital leadership play a crucial role in driving business model innovation. Strong leadership enables digital dynamic capabilities because the leader is the main character, or we can say a main person who guides the organization towards the digital transformation. The business model innovation and organization cultures are interlinked, and successful digital transformation depends on the adaptability and collaborations. So this is the framework, conceptual framework. This provides a structured way to understand how different factors interact in research study. In this case, it connects digital leadership with a business model innovation and digital transformation in a higher education. So it provides a roadmap for higher education institutions to successfully implemented digital transformations. So how these factors are interlinked, how these factors are interlinked with each other, uh, each factor responsible for development of a higher education institution, and each factors are responsible for digital transformation in higher education institutions. So there are some challenges also. Firstly, resistance to change among faculties and administrations. Some of the administration and faculties are not aware about how the digital transformation transform their life, how the digital transformation make their teaching easy, how the digital transformation make understanding easy. So we have to give some solutions, like we have to give some trainings, we have to do some skill programs, so they are aware, they become friendly with the digital transformations. The second one is lack of digital literacy and training. Yeah, we talk about in last point, there is a lack of digital literacy. People do not trust easily on AIs, and people do not aware about the all the functions that are going on the market. People do not aware about the new technology that introduced day by day in market. So we have to train them, we have to do some events, we have to uh, organize some guest lectures, we have to organize some lectures from the high professionals of digital industries, so they are aware, they become aware ki how the technologies transform in market and how the technologies benefit their daily lifestyles in education sector. The third one is institutional barriers and slow adaptation of technology. Yeah, there are many institutional barriers like a rigid organization culture. Many institutions believe that the traditional method of teaching was the best. They do not, they are not ready to adopt the digital transformations. So we have to aware them. We have to aware them. We have to do something so they become ready to adopt that they become ready to adopt that digital transformation. The last one is financial and infrastructure limitation. Yes, the financial and infrastructure limitations are the one of the barriers in this, because the new technologies are very expensive and not all the institutions able to afford the technologies, but there are some solutions that they collaborates with the government to take subsidies. They collaborate with the higher entities to take some subsidies or discounts, or they can work together to transform the industry from traditional to digital. So there are some they have to implement some policies. The government have to implement some policies to transform the industry into digital. Yeah, specifically transform the education sector into digitalization. So need for some stronger policies supporting digital education.
Excuse
Government.
me, sir.
Yes.
Our times is up.
Sir, only 1 minute.
Please conclude your topic. Yes, sir. Please.
So the conclusion is that the digital leadership is a critical for higher education institution to successful transformation. Business model, innovation, and organization culture must evolve, and adaptability, collaborations, and strong leaderships are the pillars of successful digital transformations. Thank you, and I'm open for Q&A session.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone having question? So, sir, one question that can you please define me clearly that what research methodology have you selected for this topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I select two research methodologies for this topic. One is institutional method, and second was is dynamic capability method. So in institutional method, we
So your research is qualitative, right?
yes, ma'am, qualitative.
Are you sure these are the two methods which are, qualitative? Have you in qualitative method we have case study approach, we have narrative approach. So the models and things we are talking about, these are particularly theories.
Yes, ma'am.
So there is no as such particular research methodology as to qualitative research as well. So my suggestion would be that although your topic is very, good with respect to artificial intelligence, so my suggestion would be that you should select a particular research methodology, a good research methodology, which can be qualitative or quantitative, but there are proper research methodologies. So in this paper, it's major missing. Okay, this was the suggestion from my side. Indrajit Ghoshal sir will be joining in 3 minutes back. So we can have next participant. Any questions to this? Okay, Shubhajit, next participant. Thank you,
Ma'am,
Harsh.
there is a
Thank
short
you.
announcement.
Oh, sorry.
So we request everyone to be in the meeting till last, as we have international speaker session at 1:30 p.m. So Mr. Johnny Dyer will join us shortly. So for our next speaker, we have Miss Ritu, whose topic is harnessing artificial intelligence for sustainable growth. Miss Ritu, you can start.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Small
ma'am.
request. My is it's shaking a little bit. So is it okay if I start right now? Right now, I think it's working okay. You can hear me, and I think you can see the screen also.
Okay, we can start with Namrata Yadav. Yes, continue, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I thank the panel for giving me this opportunity. I thank Amity School of Business for giving me this opportunity for presenting my paper here. I would share my. 1 second. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll just switch on. Do I have to switch on the camera or can I just switch it off? I think it will be better. There won't be any disturbance in the network then.
Okay, ma'am, you can switch off your camera and continue with the
All right.
presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So the topic of our paper is balancing tradition and technology and economic and sustainable comparison of organic farming models in India and global innovation. So this paper is a comprehensive literature review comparing India's traditional practices with the global innovation. We try to evaluate the strengths, the challenges, scalability of India's indigenous method along with the advanced technologies from countries like Germany, Japan, and the US. The objective of the paper is to evaluate the economic sustainability of India's traditional organic farming. The second objective was to examine the global innovation in organic agriculture and their output. The third one was to compare the productivity, market access, and environmental impact of both the models. And we have tried to propose a hybrid approach for the sustainable agriculture development in India. The methodology that has been used in the paper, we have tried to employ qualitative research here. There is a qualitative research design using systematic literature review. We have tried to go through as many as peer-reviewed journals. Few government reports are there. There are policy documents and international case study. Secondary data has been collected from JSTO, Scopus, from various Indian government reports. So going into traditional organic farming in India, I'll just give a small brief of the traditional practices that we have been using. Like crop rotation, intercropping, agroforestry, mixed cropping system have been traditionally used not just to increase the productivity, but also to conserve the soil fertility and manage the pests naturally. In states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, these methods have seen a revival under the community-led initiatives along with the zero-budget natural farming units. Also, many farmers operate, there are few challenges from the economic point of view that the farmers have been facing, given the fact that India has many small and marginal farmers. The problem with these farmers is that they operate in isolated markets and they have poor bargaining power and limited access to the collective marketing channels. Although, if we talk about organic farming, demand is there, but still because of certification costs, lack of awareness, lengthy bureaucratic procedure, it is deterring the small holders to enter into the market. And if you look at the environmental impact of organic farming, it reduces the greenhouse gas emission. Many especially gases like nitrogenous oxide, methane, they all reduce. So the main criticism that has been faced is that given the fact that national food security has to be there, organic farming is generally associated with lower productivity. So there are few challenges which are being faced as far as certification problems, market constraint are concerned. Now, looking at the global innovations which have been happening in the field of organic farming, there are many technologies such as precision agriculture, GPS-enabled machinery, remote sensing, AI-driven decision support system, which has been extensively being used to organic farming. If we take the example of, Germany, for instance, precision farming is being widely adopted even in organic systems. And it includes variable rate applications of organic fertilizer, soil mapping, real-time monitoring is being done. And if you look at Japan, Japan also uses innovations like robotic weeders, compact smart tractors are being used, biological integrated pest control systems are there. And in US, digital platforms like blockchain-based traceability system, cloud-based farm management software, even e-commerce models are there. These platforms have enhanced the social chain efficiency and provided even weather and price forecasting, which has promoted the consumer trust through digital traceability. And if you look at the sustainable implication with while global innovation, it does aim to enhance the sustainability by reducing reliance on the chemical inputs, their impact on the overall ecological footprint is more complex and contested. Advanced equipment and digital technology through precision resource use and high embodied energy cost in terms of production, maintenance, and operation has actually helped up. And another technological, if we have to talk about India in particular, I'll just go through the case study slide once. All right. So if you look at Andhra Pradesh, we have used a community-managed natural farming. A model has been used which emphasize low-cost traditional practices like intercropping, mulching has been used. It significantly lowers the production cost and it improves the soil health also. Whereas if you look at Bioland Organic Cooperative in Germany, it has been demonstrates a technologically integrated cooperative approach for utilizing digital traceability systems and precision farming. Also, if you look at Japan's model of natural agriculture, they follow philosophy-based organic model which avoids all the external inputs. including compost. While it achieves ecological harmony and consumer trust in niche market, it has lower yield and limited scalability, and which is a key limitation of this particular model. But technological use is intentionally absent there because they have been focusing on traditional manual practices. And looking at US, the Rodale Institute model, it combines organic principle with advanced tools like AI-based monitoring, integrated pest management, which has actually it actually delivers high productivity and market competitiveness, but it does require a significant amount of investment. Though environmentally it is beneficial and energy consumption is relatively high. A few policy recommendation that we can go for. The first one would be subsidizing the low cost of the technology, such as solar powered irrigation system, mobile based agriculture advisory applications, and community level composting units can significantly enhance accessibility and reduce the digital divide among smallholders. And in addition, capacity building through government-led extension programs is crucial to equip the farmers with knowledge and skills which is needed to adopt organic technologically integrated organic methods effectively. Also, improving the market structure, which would include cold chain facilities, storage systems, and rural logistics, will help to reduce the post-harvest losses. And it would enhance the competitiveness of organic produce in both the domestic and export markets. And also the introduction of simplified and affordable organic certification system will boost farmers' participation and improve the market access, especially for the exports. And also, if we foster the public-private partnership between the agriculture technological companies and the farmer cooperative, it can lead to accelerated innovation adoption, and it will create sustainable model for inclusive growth in the organic farming sector. To conclude, this study concludes that neither traditional nor technological approaches alone can ensure sustainable agriculture development, but a hybrid mode which will be integrating traditional ecological knowledge with affordable technological solution will offer a balanced path forward. And such a strategy can improve the productivity, it will ensure food security also, and maintain ecological integrity. The policymaker has to prioritize inclusive models that will empower these small marginal market holders, and it will also enhance the economic viability of organic farming in India. Thank you. I'll conclude my presentation here.
Thank you for your presentation. Does anyone have any question? You can ask ma'am now.
That was a good presentation, Namrata. And just one thing, that in the sense that have you used any theory or theoretical background for that? That although you have made a comparison.
Yes, ma'am. I have used many peer-reviewed journal articles. There are government reports, policy documents, and international case studies that I have picked up. And they have been collected from different databases.
Got it. I'm just asking that, is there any theory supporting your work? Is there any theoretical background on which you have, based your study?
I'm not getting your question. You're asking about the theoretical background, as in the studies that have already been conducted.
There is difference between review of literature and theoretical background. What you is telling me is review of literature.
Yeah.
I'm just asking about any theory.
No, ma'am. I haven't gone through any theoretical background for this.
So my suggestion will be please support your study with the appropriate theory, as there are many theories related to economics. So, you know, every finding must be in line with the existing literature in the sense that existing theories. Now over to you, sir.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, what actually ma'am is looking for, I understand. Ma'am was asking about the ground level theory. Okay. So based on the ground level, suppose you are doing some research work on service quality. So what theory you should follow?
As in the literature of that, you are saying.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
The
So what theory you should follow? Parashuram theory, sir. So ma'am was asking the same thing. So what theory you have followed? And
I'm a
so
PhD scholar and I'm doing the field of organic farming only. So yes, I'm going through the theory of it also.
Yes, this was my question.
you should, because of theoretical background and your literature is totally different. Okay, literature, so definitely. You can see many papers, in good papers, I'm talking about the good papers. Some of the like authors, they are writing the theoretical background. Some of the authors, they are writing the literature review. There is little bit difference in between that. So as a scholar, as a researcher, we have to understand this. Where is the basic difference between that? And what about the ground level theory and what theory we should follow when you are doing some research work? Okay, because of based on the literature.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Namrata.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So moving on, we are pleased to invite Ms. Ritu, who to present his paper titled Harnessing Artificial Intelligence for Sustainable Growth.
So my screen is, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am.
And my screen is also visible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
I have shared it. Just a second. Now it is visible?
No, ma'am. Can share your screen.
Is it visible now, sir?
Say, ma'am, you are visible, but your screen is not.
Ma'am, you have to share your entire screen. Then only your presentation will be visible to us.
Is it visible now, ma'am?
Yes, yes, it's visible now. Kindly go to slideshow.
Is it okay now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, everyone here present here. I am Ritu, a research scholar, and I'm going to present my views on harnessing artificial intelligence for sustainable growth, opportunities, challenges, and future of organic product under the guidance of Dr. Ajay Pandey, sir, Associate Professor in MIT University, Gurugram. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, economies, and societies. AI-driven automation, data analytics, and machine learning are unlocking new possibilities while also introducing complex challenges. AI enhances efficiency across sectors by automating repetitive tasks, optimizing supply chains, and improving decision making. Businesses can reduce cost and increase output, leading to
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Your slide is not moving. So,
uh,
Yes, now
I'm just giving the overview.
Okay,
And I will
okay,
start
fine.
with my topic introduction. Just
Okay, fine.
okay. AI is transforming healthcare also, as we have the speaker in the morning session. He share his views regarding AI, how AI helps in healthcare innovations. AI also help in learning adapts to students' need, offering tailored content and real-time feedback. AI contributes to sustainability by optimizing energy use, reducing waste, and predicting climate patterns. It also improves cybersecurity by identifying threats in real time, preventing cyber attacks, and enhancing fraud detections and in financial transactions. AI driven surveillance and law enforcement tools also boosts public safety. AI revolution is shaping industries across the globe, providing unprecedented opportunities for efficiency, automation, and decision making. It continues to evolve. It has become an essential tool for addressing complex challenges in various sectors, including agricultural and organic food industries. The global food system is undergoing considerable change as a result of growing concern such as population expansion, resource depletion, climate change, and food scarcity. Although they were successful in past, traditional agricultural practices are currently having trouble meeting the rising need for food supply without endangering environmental sustainability. The advent of cutting-edge technology empowers encouraging ways to maximize food production, improve supply chain effectiveness, improve food production, support sustainable farming method. The food businesses may boost output, cut waste, and enhance overall food security by incorporating these technologies. The emerging technologies are being widely implemented to improve agricultural techniques and food production systems in order to address the urgent issues of sustainability and food security. Robotics and automation are changing labor-intensive agricultural operations by increasing productivity and lowering dependency on human labor, improving food traceability and supply chain transparency, blockchain technology, lower frauds, and ensure food safety. I have reviewed some of the papers. Should I explain the each and every paper and the objective, ma'am, or should I go to the role of should I share the opportunities that AI provide in organic food products?
You have limited time. It's up to you. You have to tell the important and material things. Okay.
So, So the objective of my study is to explore the role of AI in sustainable growth, identify the key opportunities of AI in organic industry, assess challenges in AI adoption, analyze the future impact of AI on organic market, and recommend strategies for effective AI implementations. Now, the opportunities which artificial intelligence in food systems provide are first, AI-driven sustainability insights. AI enhance food system sustainability by assessing resource use and waste, allowing farmers to adopt more efficient techniques that have a lower environmental impact. One important way to increase resource efficiency is through precision agriculture. AI can easily detect the pest and disease to minimize the need for chemical pesticides. AI models predict weather patterns, help organic farmers adapt to climate change, and minimize risks. AI reduces chemical runoff, stops soil erosion, and improves biodiversity by making sure that just the required number of resources are used. Eco-friendly packaging options and biodegradable material identifications are being provided by machine learning algorithms. Second is automation in food and agricultural process. Automation enhances food and agricultural system by increasing productivity, improving precision, and reducing human labor dependency. Robotics in food processing ensure high quality standards, while automated farming equipment increase precision and reduce waste. Robotics in food production. Robotics has changed traditional agricultural method by increasing productivity, accuracy, and sustainability. Advances in automation, computer vision, and AI have enabled robots to perform tasks that once required human labor. Robots equipped with AI and computer vision assist in planting, watering, and harvesting crops, increasing efficiency and reducing labor dependency. AI-powered robots identify and remove weeds without chemicals, promoting organic and sustainable farming. Mechanized system for post-harvest processing. Automated sorting and grading system classify food items based on size, ripeness, color, and defect, ensuring only high quality food reaches the market. Advanced robotics arms with AI-powered image identification prevent defective products from entering the supply chain. Precision cleaning equipment and smart sprayers maintain food cleanliness through controlled disinfectant or organic treatment dosages. Integrating 3D printing in agricultural robotics. This technology lowers cost and ensures smooth operation by allowing farmers and agricultural engineers to design, build, and repair components as needed. 3D printed robotic arms and grippers are being developed for delicate harvesting operations. Renewable energy in food production. The food industry is one of the largest energy consumer, with agriculture, food processing, transportation, and storage relying heavily on non-renewable energy resources such as fossil fuels. This dependence leads to high greenhouse gases emission, rising operational cost, and environmental degradation, making the transition to renewable energy sources as a necessity. The renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, bioenergy, and hydropower offer sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels, ensuring cost-efficient, low-emission, and resilient food production system. Solar-powered irrigation system. Irrigation is one of the most energy-intensive agricultural process, particularly in areas where high water demand and little rainfall. So conventional irrigation system use electrical or diesel, which raise fuel prices and produce carbon emission. By providing photovoltaic, solar panels to power water pumps, solar powered irrigation makes sure that crops receive water without becoming more reliant on fuel. Solar drying for food preservation. Food deterioration caused by inadequate storage and drying practices results in considerable post-harvest losses in many countries. Fuel-based heat sources are used in conventional food drying, which raises energy expenses and pollutes the environment. So solar drying system effectively remove moisture from food items using ventilation fans and solar heat collectors, maintaining nutritional value and increasing the shelf life. Solar cold storage and refrigerations. In remote and off-grid locations, maintaining cold storage for perishable goods necessitates a constant power source, which can be expensive. In order to maintain ideal temperature, avoiding spoiling and minimizing food loss, solar-powered cold storage systems make use of energy-efficient cooling technology and battery storage. Solar-powered greenhouse. In order to ensure energy efficiency and higher crop yield, solar-powered greenhouse use AI-driven climate management system to monitor humidity, temperature, and CO2 level. By lowering reliance on fossil fuels, these greenhouse improves farming sustainability and climate change adaptability. And the last role of artificial intelligence is blockchain for transparency and traceability. Blockchain technology is transforming the food supply chain by enabling complete transparency, enhancing food safety, and eliminating fraud. By enabling consumer to scan QR codes on food packaging to confirm sustainability certification, ethical production method, and sourcing information. This technology promotes confidence between producers and buyers. The challenges in adoption of AI, which most of the people face, are that there are still many farms without access to high-tech machine learning techniques. The implementation cost is very high. Instead of field solution, AI is employed in agricultural products like seeds, fertilizers, and insecticides. A lot of data is needed for AI system to train their algorithm and produce precise predictions. Challenges to find temporal data.
And you are not there.
Data infrastructure needs maturity. Sorry, I repeat. Application need to be resilient in order to investigate a variety of AI in agricultural applications. For technology to be accessible even at the farm level, solution must be more effective. So future prospects in AI and automation for food systems include food systems are being modified by automation, robots, and artificial intelligence, which is improving food security, resource optimization, supply chain efficiency, and climate change adaptation. AI and automation can speed up logistics, minimize waste, enhance food processing, and increase agricultural output. The future of intelligent food system will feature AI-powered autonomous farming, lab-grown proteins, automated food processing, vertical and smart farming, blockchain-based traceability, and individualized nutrition. These technologies will maximize agricultural yield with minimal human involvement, enabling farmers to predict weather patterns and optimize resource allocation. Lab-grown proteins and AI-optimized substitute food will enhance protein intake, and while vertical farming and AI-powered greenhouse will increase in urban areas. To conclude, I would like to say that AI is playing a transformative role in driving sustainable growth in organic product sector by enhancing efficiency, reducing waste, and improving supply chain transparency. The opportunities presented by AI, such as precision farming, automated quality control, and smart logistics, offer significant potential to increase organic food production while maintaining environmental and ethical standards. AI will continue to shape the future of the organic product industry, fostering a more resilient, transparent, and efficient system. As advancements in AI and automation accelerate, the focus should remain on creating ethical, sustainable, and inclusive solutions that benefits farmers, businesses, and consumers while preserving the core value of agricultural system. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Does anyone have any questions? You may ask now.
Hello.
Jesus.
Hello, ma'am. I'll be not asking any questions. I'll be not asking any questions to you. Just two to three things. My observation. What actually I have been observed from your slide. Actually, could you come to the objective slide, please? Could you come to the objective slide, please?
Your mic is off.
Yes, ma'am. Please unmute yourself and share your screen again.
Share the-
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible. Regarding your objectives, na?
Yes, sir.
Actually, there are 5 objectives, right?
Sir.
You are the scholar.
Sorry? Yeah, scholar, sir.
Yeah, you are the scholar, na? Actually, you are pursuing your PhD from MIT. So,
Yes, sir.
Just as a teacher, I'm just giving some suggestions.
Yes, sir.
Regarding, you see, objectives, whatever the objectives you have framed,
Yes, sir.
I'm just telling you, when you will be framing the objective, no, objective should be framed in 2 formats. Either you can use the question format, or like you should write before starting the objective TO2 keyword. Okay, you will be writing or you will use the TO2 keyword before starting the objective, like to explore the role,
Okay, sir.
to assess, to identify. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Or you can frame as a question format. So this is the way to frame the objective. So the objective you have framed, that's fine, but it's just like the statement. It's not the objective.
Okay, sir.
This is my observation.
Thank you.
So please change according to the guidelines and see the many papers, and definitely you can communicate, or you will communicate with your guide. The guide will be giving some suggestions to you regarding the objective framing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Thank you.
what is your questions in your research? What is your questions? What questions you have?
So for this particular conference,
Research. No. For that particular research, I'm asking from this.
Ritu sir is asking, what are your research questions?
Research question is that
have you heard about the research questions and the objectives? What are the basic difference between the research question and objective?
sorry, can you again explain the question?
No. I'm asking you, have you heard about the research questions? Research objectives, so many objectives you have framed. So
Yes,
what
sir.
is your research question?
Research.
Have you heard about the difference between the research question and objective?
Research question, sir, is
question and objective.
Sir, research question here maybe it may be right. Research question here is to identify the key issue and problem. To study the whatever I am studying, my research question would be to identify the key issue or problem for the particular what I am going to explore. Maybe that is the research question. From the research, then I can go to my objective key.
Okay, Ritu, let's change the question. What is the research gap in your study?
Okay, ma'am.
On the basis of research gap, we find research questions. And so sir is asking you that.
As a research gap, he's asking me. Okay.
Yes, on that basis, we have research questions. So have you any?
Ma'am, most AI applications are designed for large-scale farming. But the small-scale organic farmers face barriers like cost, accessibility, and lack of technical knowledge. And the gap exists in developing AI tools that are affordable, user-friendly, and tailored to organic farming principles. And there is limited research on how AI-driven automation aligns with organic certification standards. As per me, जो मैंने study किया, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Inderjeet, sir. Okay, one more question from my side, Ritu ma'am. You have written a bibliographic approach. So what research methodology or what software you have used?
Actually, ma'am, in the starting, I thought of writing the bibliographic approach, but due to lack of time, I didn't do it on a bibliographic matter. On the bibliographic approach, I just read some papers. As per me, bibliographic approach is I have to research from the starting, from where the concept is started until now, what researches have been done in this field. But I am unable to study all the papers for this, so I have deducted the word bibliographic approach from my PPT, if you can see.
Okay, is there any difference between bibliographic and bibliometric analysis?
Yes, ma'am, hota to hai, but I don't.
You have to go through a lot, okay?
Yes,
you have to go through a lot, and also theoretical background is again missing. And most importantly, there is one more thing, just a suggestion to include in your research, that how can AI contribute to maintaining the authenticity and traceability of organic or sustainable products? Okay. So you have used agricultural, robotics, food production. So kindly look into the organic products as well. So this one is my observation and suggestion to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you have to do a lot. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Best wishes.
Thank you, Ms. Ritu Malik. Moving on, we are pleased to invite Nitesh Raj, Vinay Sangwan, Karthik Suresh, and Ritvik Lohalani to present his paper titled AI-driven Summit Sentiment Analysis using Transformer Models in NLP.
Yeah, my screen is visible.
No, sir.
Just once. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Now it's
Yes. So, can I start?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, honorable judges, esteemed guests, faculty members, and participants. My name is Nitesh Raj, currently working in Amity University for over 7 years and contributing to various academic and research activities. Today, we are honored to present our research paper titled AI-driven sentiment analysis using transformer model in NLP at the 18th International Conference on AI Regulation Opportunities. We are deeply passionate about leveraging AI to solve real-world challenges and seek the board esteem, support, and guidance to further our reverse vision. Now I invite my teammates Ritvik, Vinay, and Kartik to present our paper. Thank you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Uh,
You are audible.
Good morning. So, good afternoon, esteemed members of the panel. My name is Ritvik Lohani, and for our research, we have developed a sentiment analyzing model using a small data set inspired of pre-existing models such as Roberta and BERT. In a Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Can anyone say we are visible or not?
Yes, sir. You are visible, and your slides also.
So can I start again in starting from starting?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Okay, okay. So I start again. Karthik, first page. मैं दिख रहा? Okay. Hello, I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So good afternoon, honorable judges, esteemed guests, faculty members, and participants. My name is Nitesh Raj, currently working in Amity University for over 7 years and contributing to various academic and research activities. Today, we are honored to present our research paper titled AI-driven sentiment analysis using transformer model in NLP at the 18th International Conference on AI Regulation Opportunities. We are deeply passionate about leveraging AI to solve real-world challenges and seek the STEAM board support and guidance to further our vision. Now I invite my teammates Ritvik, Vinay, and Karthik to present our paper. Thank you.
Good afternoon, esteemed members of the panel. My name is Ritvik Lohani, and for our research, we have developed a sentiment analyzing model using a small dataset inspired of pre-existing models such as Roberta and BERT. Using our model, we can detect sarcasm, irony, and mitigate bias. For our research objective, we worked on the gaps of pre-existing model. The BERT was trained up to 16 GB on a small data set, and Roberta was trained up to 160 GB, but the data set was used according to its convenience. It was also both the programs were monolingual. We intend to make it multilingual, and we use data sets from newsletters, articles, and social media platforms. To develop sentiment analysis, we had to understand sarcasm, irony, and biases, and then train it accordingly. Idioms and sarcasms have a deeper meaning and actually require cultural and contextual backgrounds. Using our model, sentiment analysis should be easier, but also remove the confusion caused by sarcasm or provide bias mitigation, which is to eliminate bias from society. Now I would like to hand over the presentation to Vinay.
Am I audible? Sir,
Yes, sir, you are audible.
uh, uh, wait. Sir, am I visible? Like my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, you are visible.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, Ritik. Good afternoon and good afternoon, judges. I'm Vinay Sangwan. A research paper focus on enhancing sentiment analysis using transformer-based models. We aim to tackle two challenges: sarcasm detection and bias mitigation. To solve this, we are using four major approaches. First is multitask learning. We are using multitask learning to simultaneously address both sarcasm and sentiment detection. Second is shared transformer encoder to enable knowledge transfer between tasks. Third is separate output heads. We are using separate output heads for both sentiment and sarcasm detection, allowing for more optimization and specific learning. Fourth is adversarial devising. We are mitigating bias in sentiment prediction and promoting fairness and overtness. About our model training, our model is trained in multiple datasets covering diverse contexts from social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram. These diverse data help the model handle informal language, slangs, and nuisance expressions while maintaining a performance on formal text. The complete process includes, as you can see in our flowchart, first the model takes the input, which then goes to the processing step where it tokenizes. Means it will break down into small sentences known as tokens or words. Then it will go through a cleaning process where unwanted words were removed to reduce noise. And then the labeling is done, means assigning categories and tags to each words. Then it is sent to the model training where we are using transformer architecture such as BERT and Loberta, leveraging multiple task learning and detect both sarcasm and sentiment. After all this training and evaluation, the model gives output prediction for sentiment, sarcasm detection, and bias mitigation. Now, in our source code, we have taken two example statement. On the left side, you can see our source code, and on the right bottom corner, you can see our output. On the first statement, we have taken the statement of, oh wow, this is what I expected. So in a normal AI model, might think it as a positive statement, but in real world, it shows that the user's disapproval. And in our output, we can see the expected output as the sentiment as negative and sarcasm and sarcastic. And in our second statement, we have taken a positive statement of I love this place, it's amazing. And the output shown is also the sentiment as positive and sarcasm as non-sarcastic, making our model detect sentiment and sarcasm. Now I will passing over to Karthik. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all the panel members. Now we'll be going over the model architecture. The model architecture is based upon just a second. The model architecture is based upon three basic principles. We use BERT and Robota, which both have 12 separate layers and 110 million parameters. We emphasize across sentiment and sarcasm detection, and we use specific classification heads for optimized learning. The training strategies that we have employed are multitask fine-tuning of the weighted loss function, which combines sentiment fine-tuning and sarcasm detection, adversarial training to detect sensitive terms and penalize for biased information, and fine-tuning the model on sentiment tasks so that it has this final fine-tuning. Moving on to the applications, the model can be used in chatbots and virtual assistants, which helps them understand the user sentiment and makes them more comfortable with the customers. In reviews and recommendations, our model helps interpret sarcastic comments better. Bias mitigation is important when the model is used for policy making and academic research, which should be fair and impartial from the model side. To conclude, we introduced an AI-driven sentiment analysis model developed on transformer based on Roberta and BERT. We tackled two major challenges, which are sarcasm detection and bias mitigation. We employed multitask learning, which significantly improves the model. And we use a weighted loss function, which allows us to balance sentiment and sarcasm. Overall, it can be used in applications such as social media monitoring, customer feedback analysis, and automated chatbots. Thank you for your attention. We'll now be taking questions from the panel.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone have any questions? Indrajit, sir, do you have any questions?
No question. Please proceed. Next.
Yes, okay. Next participant.
Okay, moving on. We have next
Thank you.
participant.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
So moving on, we have next participant, Namrata Krishnani, who will be presenting a paper on unveiling AI's dual role in sustainable wildlife tourism. Ms. Namrata, ma'am.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir,
Am
you
I
are audible.
audible? Until the screen share, it's not asking. You cannot share the screen while other participant is sharing, it says.
Okay.
Karthik, sir.
I would request Mr. Nitesh Raj to stop sharing the screen.
Now you can present.
Yeah, sure. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I just check if it is changing and you are able to see the change also.
Yes, ma'am. We are able to see.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. I am Namrata Krishnani from PSS Bhopal. I will be presenting my paper on unveiling the dual that is a role of AI in sustainable wildlife tourism management as a research scholar. My paper actually explores the use of AI for the wildlife conservation and intersecting the conservation and the tourism management in the wildlife habitats, looking at the potential of a wider wildlife tourism prospects in Madhya Pradesh from the state where I belong to, which is also known as the tiger state and the wildlife state, for the the visitor management, better tourism experience, and of course the conservation of the wildlife species, and looking at the prospects from the all the stakeholders point of view by integrating the new tools and the technologies, which are of course the AI tools such as Google's species net and the IBM Watson, which we have seen that they are being used in other grounds abroad for wildlife and the tourism management. So basically, as we have explored so many papers, we have seen the benefits of the advanced wildlife monitoring systems, which is used for real-time tracking, that is of the habitat mapping, the non-invasive monitoring of the species, basically where the camera traps are being set, and also it is better to analyze the animal, whether it is a herbivore or carnivore, and the movement of the animals and the differences. The large scale surveillance is possible through, of course, the Google AI. Of course, in some parks, even here in Madhya Pradesh, they use the EI, which is the electronic eye, basically, for the large scale surveillance of the the national parks. The large scale data processing also enables a better data set for keeping a track of the wildlife. The environmental sensors are, of course, better to handle the complex data at a real time, and of course the complex answers to the queries and the behavior of the wildlife, the pattern, the migration pattern, and predicting the movements and the routes of the the wildlife species. So it is better to track the wildlife so that they do not inhabit the inhabit the other region, leading to a human wildlife conflict. Of course, it is also better to predict the tourism trends, the visitor flows, better to engage the tourist by better sightings, and of course prevent the poaching at the hotspots which are there. As we know very well that the poaching has increased in the later years, so it is better use of advanced analytics to identify the potential of AI to prevent the poaching, and it of course leads to a proactive conservation intervention. By predictive modeling techniques, we just not only look into the climate change and protection of the environment, but also the tourism predictions, so that we are better engaging the tourist, and also giving a better experience to the tourist, which are more satisfied by looking at the this the movements of the tourist, their needs, their demands, and of course their expectations. And of course it will be helpful for preventing the genetics analytics and the surveillance. As we know very well that in Kuno, where we have recently brought cheetah from other grounds, these technologies are used for, of course, the identifying the genetics also, and also again creating a ground where we are protecting an endangered species which was actually have not been found in India since last 1952. So as my research cap, the current challenges that we have seen in wildlife tourism is basically the manual data analysis, where keeping a track of the wildlife information, tracking information, the species, and their preventing their poaching or the conservation was very complex, and the decision making is something which is based on complex data, which of course lack the real time information, and also very delayed decision making is there. So it has a limited capacity, and of course somewhere or the other, after huge efforts of the the people, the I would say the tourism authorities, or I would say the administrative, the Indian Forest Administrative Services, they are finding a difficult time to prevent poaching and be proactive in conservation. So based on certain review of literature, we have of course these researchers who have presented the role of AI in tourism, so as to interpret the online images, and of course it will be giving accurate forecasting of the tourist flow also, to handle the resource management and giving valuable insights to prevent the tourism congestion, and the optimize the resource allocation. With the help of augmented reality, the virtual reality, we can increase the sensitivity of the tourists towards wildlife, and which help in proactive conservation of the wildlife, and the know-how or the knowledge of the climate change and the environmental impact. Apart from it, the habitat mapping, the wildlife species monitoring, and the genetic monitoring of these wildlife will also add into the potential of the 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 stakeholders, which is of course, the forest department along with the tourism department, to better serve the community. So the research objective is to identify the applications of AI for wildlife monitoring and the conservation efforts, to see what is the current status and how far it is used, and the potential that how we can use it to better extent in terms of mitigating the human wildlife conflict, and increase the tourism satisfaction. With the use of AI, we can, of course, create a better ecosystem in collaboration with all the stakeholders. So the methodology that we have used is, of course, to examine the existing studies and the publications with the intersection of AI, tourism, and the wildlife conservation on the basic themes. And we want to further understand, create a deeper understanding of the current potential, the benefits, and the limitations of use of AI, so that we can further look into developing research potential on understanding the tourist perception on the AI and their usage, the perception of the stakeholders, whether it's the forest department officials or the community, and the ethical considerations of AI. So, as going through the previous researches, we have seen that the animal AI has been helpful in predicting and tracking the animal movements. Like let's say in Madhya Pradesh, where I'm residing, I've seen that Ratapani Tiger Reserve or the adjoining areas, they are using the use of AI enabled cameras, so that to reduce the human wildlife conflict, as it is very close by to the main city of Bhopal. And we have seen a lot of the animal movement in the adjoining city areas. Then forecasting the tourist numbers, of course, identifying the poaching hotspots, and keeping an eye over the poaching, so that we can prevent the wildlife and detect the early signs of the environment change, as we have known that whether it was ozone hole to other environmental impact, or the satellite predictions are very accurate in preventing any of these environmental or natural calamities, to reduce the property and the loss of people, and of course the wildlife also. As of course in Gir, when we remember, it was flooded once. A lot of lions actually was sacrificed there because of not able to predict, not able to shift them to some other area. So it will be much better helpful. Then developing the evidence based on the conservation strategies, and giving a tailored approach, so that to meet the specific context of the different stakeholders. Optimizing the resource allocation, whether it is the waste management, water management, the energy management, with the renewable sources of energy, where the larger grounds are basically used for solar energy power conservation, development, and supplying to the neighborhood community and the village areas, and also the waste and the water management in a better manner with the use of AI. Then effectiveness of the conservation interventions, so as to be adaptive and making continuous improvements to better promote the sustainable tourism practices within the tourist and also the community at large. So it basically recommends, that is to develop specialized AI models which are much better secure, and the ethical considerations are being looked after by collaborating between the researchers, the academicians, and the stakeholders together. And also implementing a comprehensive training program for the professionals, so that as it requires more I would say skilled people to handle the AI, the data sets, and decision making on a better scale, where all the stakeholder perspectives are being considered, and the use of technology is facilitated for better knowledge and resource sharing, to of course create a better experience for not only the tourist but also a better management of the wildlife and the forest resources that we are blessed with. The here the challenge of course lies in the concerns of the data privacy, the security reasons, as we know that drones were restricted to some areas because it can be the data can be used by the terrorist or the other malicious people for their malicious purposes. So it is of course we have to look in how to prevent the data privacy, and better regulatory framework has to be created for that, of course with the engagement of the again the forest department and the government regulatory authorities and the community at large, and teaching the community basically again involving and engaging the community for better economic, social, and the environmental concerns, which of course further answers that it is a collaborative integration and an innovation approach that will be uh, you know giving us a better solution for using AI in a better effective manner. Thank you so much. Should I stop sharing the screen? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Namrata.
Yeah.
Any questions from the audience? Indrajit sir?
Namrata,
Yes, sir.
very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. My pleasure.
Uh, yes,
Oh, yes, very good presentation made by Namrata. Indrajit sir, we have Mr. Johnny Udaya with us today. Welcome, sir.
Hi, how's it going?
All good, all good. What about you? How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay.
thank you, sir. Yeah, please.
Yes, a very warm welcome to Mr. Johnny, sir. On behalf of MIT University Gurugram, I, Dr. Fiza, Assistant Professor at MIT Business School, MIT University Gurugram, extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to the day two of the International Conference on Artificial Intelligence Revolution, Opportunities, Challenges, and the Path Forward. We are honored to host the international speaker session on the theme AI applications, opportunities, and challenges. We have Mr. Johnny Udyer, an assistant lecturer in the Faculty of Business and Hospitality, Department of Accounting and Business Computing at the Technological University of Shannon, Dublin, Ireland. Mr. Dyer has extensively researched the ethical aspects of artificial intelligence and its implications for business and society. His session, titled AI Ethics, will cover the ethical challenges and responsibilities associated with AI deployment and utilization. Thank you, sir, for being there with us today.
Sir, you're not audible, please.
Oh, sincere apologies. Thank you very much, Fiza. Would screen sharing be made available for me, please?
Yes, it will be available. Shubhojit, stop sharing your screen. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, sir. Okay.
So sincere apologies for my audio. I'm still recovering from some cold, but hopefully it doesn't affect me too bad in the presentation. Okay, so thank you, Chair and everyone, for being here today for what I hope is an interesting topic, and I think is a very timely and important topic anyway, and that's artificial intelligence ethics. So it's titled Artificial Intelligence Ethics, which could be understood a different number of different ways. For example, the ethical use of amoral artificial intelligence, which today a lot of artificial intelligence available is amoral. It's not immoral, it's not acting morally, okay? But of course, it can be used in immoral ways, for example, with scientific misconduct or cheating on an exam or something like this, okay? So we don't want that. But in the future, you know, we hope that these maybe agentic systems that are having more autonomy can act in an ethical manner. So yes, just by way of further introduction for myself, I'm a PhD in affective computing, which you might find interesting as we get later on into these slides, okay? So for the real introduction, however, unfortunately, there were some tragedies in your country in 2013 in Kerala, and I imagine that all of the individuals here are more informed about these tragic events than I am. But I do think that this introduces appropriate ethical behavior, appropriate moral behavior very, very well, because what this picture signifies is a lady called Geethu who waited in her house and protected her child and at the expense of maybe her own safety and her own health, put her other dependent first. And I think this is a heartwarming exemplar of moral behavior of the highest standard that any mother would do today, tomorrow, or indeed has done in the past in the case of Geethu's heroics here. So in the context of artificial intelligence, I beg your pardon, why is this important? Why is ethical behavior important? Well, according to Reuters, recently accessed here, OpenAI has over 400 million users, right? Which is a staggering amount of users for one AI system. And okay, they have a number of systems within there, okay? Moreover, Google have made a New Year's resolution, a funny resolution you might think, where they want to catch up to ChatGPT and they want to secure 500 million users by the end of 2025. And I think OpenAI has similar projections as well. So I know there'll be crossover between users maybe using both Gemini and ChatGPT. However, if we think about 1 billion people potentially using these AI systems by the end of the year. And, you know, that's not to say other systems as well. We've got DeepSeek, we've got Claude. I think Anthropic had, last time I checked, roughly 18 million users, which is not huge, but it's still over 3 times the amount of people in Ireland, right? 80 million people, so a lot of people. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a big deal. It's a big deal that we get artificial intelligence right, especially as we move towards agentic systems where AI systems will have access to autonomy in terms of decision making, task completion, etc., etc. You know, and the potential for a mass automation of work as well. So, just by way of brief introduction to human ethics, because I'm sure many of you are aware of these, so we'll just be very brief. However, being a technical person myself originally, I had no idea about any of this. So I was delighted to learn about all of these approaches, these schools of thought with regard to ethics or moral philosophy, say. So we have virtue ethics first, which is related to character traits of individuals who act in morally excellent fashion. So here I have a picture of Socrates, who would be an exemplar for virtues. He would have acted in a very just manner. He would have been wisdom. So he would have portrayed wisdom. So he would have had the virtues, wisdom and justice there. It doesn't have to be Socrates. There are other virtuous characters as well. For example, we can think of maybe Buddha or Confucius in some respects as well, might be virtuous exemplars. So virtue related to character traits. Then if we move on to consequentialist and in particular utilitarian ethics, well, the utilitarians, they want to maximize the good for society, or they want to minimize the suffering or maximize the overall good or well-being for society. The trouble maybe sometimes about utilitarianism is that it's not always obvious who we should be fair or unfair to, or should we sacrifice a group of people for the greater good, or should we sacrifice one person? Should we kill one person to save 1,000 people? Is that morally acceptable? Well, to a utilitarian, it would be morally acceptable, okay? And here we can even see an issue where there's two policies and there's unemployment projections associated with those apologies, and with those policies, I beg your pardon. And it seems as if there's no perfect policy here, because policy one seems to have higher unemployment, which is bad, for the lower class and upper class. Whereas if we contrast that with the middle class, unfortunately, the middle class has a better situation for policy one, but for policy two, we can see that the unemployment rises there. So which one is better? It turns out to be the case that the orange policy is actually better on average, if we take average being a good measure of fairness for the overall group there. So finally, we've got deontological ethics, and I must say, from my own culture and understanding, with Judeo-Christian thought, I'm most familiar with the Ten Commandments, but I bet there is a set of rules from your culture, or indeed from your religion maybe as well, that follow some deontological principles. And deontological ethics just says that there's rules, that there's always morally inappropriate behavior, and there's certain rules you should follow, certain rules you should that will make you avoid certain behavior. And so for some examples here, that might be universally acceptable. Don't steal, don't murder, and be good to your parents. And something that's interesting is that these different schools of thought with regard to human moral and ethical behavior, they sometimes come into conflict, because while a utilitarian might kill one person to avoid the suffering of 1 million people, the deontologist would never accept that. It's always morally abhorrent to kill maybe one person, even to spare further individuals discomfort, say. So moving on to the trolley problem, and the trolley problem is a philosophical thought experiment from Philippa Foot originally, who introduced the doctrine of double effect, okay, where there's two unfortunate negative consequences here. And for this situation, we've got a runaway trolley on a track. And the runaway trolley, it's going to, if it keeps going, it's going to kill tragically 5 people on the track. But we are standing at the switch. And if we pull the switch, we'll divert the trolley onto a sidetrack. However, unfortunately, there's one person on the sidetrack. And if we divert the trolley, we'll kill that person on the sidetrack. So what decision do we make here? And I want you to have a little think about the decision that you've made. And then we're going to change the situation slightly. So this problem has been adapted. And it's been adapted such that you're on a footbridge, as the story goes. But let's say we're close to the track and there's a large man in front of the track, and the large man has a backpack as well. So now we have the opportunity still to save the 5 people. However, this time we have to push the gentleman, unfortunately, onto the track, and he will stop the runaway trolley and save the other 5 people. So I asked you again to have a think about what would you do in this situation? And secondarily, does your judgment change if you compare to the previous trolley problem, the previous trolley scenario? Have a think about that as we go through the remainder of this presentation. And I'd be delighted to hear at the end of the slides how people decided on this. And really, it's trying to choose the best of 2 very bad situations, I think. So this brings me to an issue, and I'm wondering if there are agentic AI trolley problems. And indeed, it turns out to be the case that there is, in terms of criminal responsibility, in terms of design, and many other areas as well. And there are other considerations as well, guys. There's other philosophical considerations as well outside of just this kind of determination in this stage. So let's say we have a robot at the track, and this is more of a metaphorical trolley problem. Now, the runaway train, it's running towards the crowd of people, the majority of people, say, here. And maybe if the robot continues to act, the agentic system continues to act, what turns out to be the case is that it metaphorically runs over the crowd of people. Whereas if the robotic or agentic system, it metaphorically flips the switch, so to speak, well, what turns out to be the case then is that the minority, maybe it's the shareholders of OpenAI, maybe it's the shareholders of a company, and indeed the owners as well, maybe they metaphorically suffer some discomfort on that one, okay? And we can imagine a situation now where in the future, right now, actually, it seems to be the case that even your frontier models, right, whether it be reasoning or large language models, they appear to have simulated human intelligence to a large degree, right? They haven't met human intelligence yet. They're certainly far away from that yet, right? But they've certainly met some level of simulating human intelligence. Now, it seems reasonable to me that in the future, that they might be able to simulate some level of human moral understanding, moral perception, thinking about the moral consequences of their decision. And if they can do that, and if a roboticized process or agentic AI system knows that they're potentially taking an action that is immoral, that's unethical, should they do it? Should they do it? And that's what this is trying to signify here. Are they going to metaphorically hit the switch and say, no, I can't act on that one until taxation comes in to protect the autonomous driving replacement of work, or the software engineers, etc., people like me, Anyway, what are some potential solutions? Well, it seems reasonable, like I already said, that we can ingrain some rational part with regard to the moral decision-making process, okay? And indeed, adding to the rational part, I would argue that what needs to be added to that is some emotion, okay? And maybe not, emotion is a very complex thing, but maybe just some feeling, some affect, okay? Because I don't know about you guys, but flipping the switch, as difficult as that was in the aforementioned problem, it seemed very unpleasant. But to push the gentleman on the track to save the others just seemed even more unpleasant. Why? Why did it seem more unpleasant? Well, I could forecast what it feels like to be a murderer. Unfortunately, I've done it for the greater good, but I can still forecast that feeling in the future. So I can forecast how I'm going to feel and how extra unpleasant that was. So if we can embed perhaps this rational part of actions, moral actions, and indeed the feeling part, then perhaps we can have agentic AI systems that we're all happy with, okay? And so just for an example implementation very briefly, and this is certainly not the implementation. In fact, the more I look at this, so the more I look at this, an accidental audio interference there, the more I come up with further research questions and how we should characterize this and things like this. But what I'll say is, guys, that the literature currently stands that deontological and utilitarian, even hybrid approaches and bottom-up approaches for machine learning have all been investigated thus far. There have been designs for virtuous agents, but there have been no designs proposed in the literature thus far, to my knowledge, of virtuous and affective agent training, okay? And by affective, I mean sensitive to feelings, so having their own feelings potentially. So let's say, for an example, we might have a pre-trained large language model or some reasoning model, And we might take a top-down approach where we have some virtue exemplars that they need to follow, okay? They just need to follow those actions from a top-down perspective. Then, indeed, we might use some bottom-up approach to perform some fine-tuning, where we might use some ethical corpora, for example, the ethics corpus of moral and immoral actions, and indeed moral stories as well. But I propose that we make it a multi-class or multitask learning problem for the fine-tuning, where we, instead of just having these normative kind of moral stories and corpora with moral and immoral actions, we also have a valence attached to those actions. And we can see valence here on the x-axis going from left to right, and this is -1 to 1, ranging from misery or very unpleasant right up to pleasure. And I'm unsure as of yet whether I should use a 2D or whether we should use a 2D circumplex model of affect, or maybe just one dimension is fine. The reason being is because the arousal dimension, affective arousal, is for human interoception, and that's us checking in with our own physiological responses, okay? And perhaps this is going to end up with us having an affect sensitive and virtue practicing large language model and reasoning model that could be part of an agentic AI system that we can trust to make human aligned decisions via this affective conscious that it has. So in the future, we can look forward to, this is the hope, instead of fear, artificial intelligence that acts ethically. So I just want to say thank you very much, and I'll pass it to you for any questions.
Yes, any questions from the audience?
I have a question. I'm
Sure.
Subhajit Das. So
Yes.
AI adoption is rapidly growing across sectors like healthcare, finance, and governance. How do you see the ethical challenges evolving, especially considering issues like data privacy, algorithm bias, and digital accessibility for diverse socioeconomic groups?
Yeah, sure. I think there's many problems. It's a multifaceted problem because it's a business problem as well, right? So these companies are going to try and make it fair as long as it's profitable, unfortunately, right? And I do see, predominantly the large language models be developing in so-called weird countries, right? Western, educated, industrialized, etc., right? And I do see this as problematic. So Subjolt, if I can pronounce correctly, I beg your pardon if I've not. I do think that virtue is, it appears to be, say, culturally insensitive, right? Which is good, right? So if we have courage in a machine, it does seem to be the same. A mother saving the baby is the same in Ireland as in India, as in China, as in Malaysia, and so on, as in South America. Now, that's just for my idea about virtue and affect and things like that. I think affect can be culturally insensitive as well, right? Which is good. But with regard to how this is going, I do think that certain companies, Anthropic, etc., are making good efforts for value alignment and fairness and so on and so forth. But I do think that there will be disenfranchised people at the margins of society that are disproportionately affected by these technologies coming through. That's just going to be the way it is, unfortunately. And I don't know that I've done a very good question justice, unfortunately, because I certainly don't have all the answers. But I do think, I agree with you that marginalized people will be disproportionately affected by lack of opportunity and by unfair treatment, unfortunately, especially in the near term.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights on such an interesting topic, AI and ethics. Sir, we have Dr. Monica Arora, professor at MIT Business School here with us, and also Vanita Verma, ma'am. She is Assistant Director of Office of International Affairs with us. So,
thank you, Johnny Dauber. Yeah, it's great for you to join us. And though in Ireland, I can understand it's early morning, around 7:38, and you have participated and joined us. And we really thank you for your insights into challenges of AI and specifically ethical challenges, which we all can understand being humans, which is important to be into consideration. Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mm.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Monica.
Thank you, Dr. Johnny, for a wonderful session. And ethics is again very important for management. And AI in ethics is again a different dimension altogether, where there are much more things that the student has to, a student as well as a researcher, we have to be very careful about, about it because that is very, very important. So thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fiz.
Now we would like to continue with our rest of the presentations. Shubhojit, can you please announce the name of next presenter?
Yes, ma'am. For the next presentation, we have Yashika and Nitima presenting on the paper Artificial Intelligence and Work Productivity of Employees, Mediating Role of Psychological Contract. Mrs. Yashika and Nitima.
Is my presentation visible, ma'am?
Yeah. Make it a full screen mode.
Yeah. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yashika Gupta, Research Scholar at JP Business School, and today I will be presenting my study on artificial intelligence and workplace productivity of employees, mediating role of psychological contract. Before we begin, here is a quick overview of what I will be covering. First, introduction, relevance, literature review, objectives, conceptual framework, research methodology, followed by results and conclusion. Let's get started. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a tool. It's transforming how we work, from automation to decision making. AI job roles, skill demands, and workplace productivity. But beyond technology, there are human sides to AI adoption. How employees perceive it, how it influences their commitment, and whether it fosters trust or uncertainty. As the heart of this study, the psychological contract, the unwritten expectations between the employees and the employer, I explore how AI impacts these expectations and, in turn, how that affects workplace productivity. The relevance of my study, why is this study is important for academicians. It provides fresh insights into how AI is shaping employee-employer relationship. For researcher, it adds to the growing body of work on AI roles in HRM. And understanding AI's impact isn't just about efficiency; it's about ensuring workplace remain human-centered in an AI-driven era. Coming to my literature review, existing research tells us that AI has both positive and negative effects on workplace relationship, where the Rousey in 1995 implemented the psychological contract theory. Braganza in 2021 focused on AI and psychological contract. Beckens and Formosa in 2022 human-robot contracts. AI is evolving from a tool to a workplace reciprocity and trust. McKinsey, FT and RED, where these are the recent studies also highlighting concerns over AI-induced job insecurity and its effect on mental health. This study builds on these findings by examining how AI reshapes the psychological contract and ultimately impacting productivity. The objectives of my study to address these issues, I have founded two objectives. The first one, to identify the key constructs of psychological contract that are influenced by AI in workplace productivity, and examining the mediating role of psychological contract in the relationship between AI adoption, employee trust, and productivity. In simpler terms, we are trying to understand how AI changes employee expectations and trust, whether those changes affect workplace productivity or not.
the conceptual framework to visualize it more, and to understand it more clearly. I have developed a conceptual framework that connects AI adoption, psychological contract, where organizational technology structure, organizational HRM practices, and employee skills are the independent variable mediated by psychological contract, and impact of workplace productivity as independent variable. The key ideas is that AI influences employee expectations, which in turn affects their level of trust and engagement. The shift can either enhance or hinder workplace productivity depending on how well AI is integrated. The research methodology to test these relationships, I conducted a quantitative study using partial least squares PLS SEM modeling, where who participated 30 working professionals across various industries. How was data collected? Through a structured survey assessing AI impact on workplace productivity, where I tried to collect my data on the basis on considering the mediating variable, that is the psychological contract. As it's going through my journey of as a PhD research scholar, in the first year, I tried to conclude my results through PLS SEM, but there is still a gap to I need to cover on, because I have to recheck my data, how well I can restructure and how well I can code the numerical values, so that I can get a final result for PLS SEM. Coming to the conclusion, AI significantly influences the psychological contract. Employee perceive AI-driven changes in their role, expectations, and job security. A well-balanced psychological contract fosters trust and engagement, leading to higher productivity. When AI is poorly integrated, it creates uncertainty, reduced commitment, affecting performances. Drawing from Browser 1995 framework and social exchange theory, this study highlights the need for strategic HRM practices to ensure a support and a positive balanced workplace productivity. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Yashika. So now we will be taking questions. If anyone has any questions, you can ask.
It was a good presentation, Yashika. You have used better research methodology. This was what I was expecting from many of the research scholars.
Thank you.
Yes, Indrajit sir.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Yashika.
Good afternoon, sir.
Nice presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're doing good job,
Thank you, sir.
but I have a little bit quiet just.
Yes, sir.
Why your sample size is 30?
Sir, actually, I was just trying to make it more, but I ended with 30 only, and that too, including one of my neighbor, it was 29, and including one of my close friend, I reached to 30. But it is, as it is my second semester, I'm still trying to make contact so that I can improve my
Okay.
respondents. So
Because
that's
of why just I'm asking the questions because
Yes.
of you are using the smart PLS
Yes, sir.
and your mediating variable is psychological
Psychological
contracts,
Yes, sir.
right? You are going to develop the empirical study,
Yes, sir. Definitely.
right?
That is the research gap
So
that I found, sir.
yes, so the thing is that your sample size is too low. So
Yes, sir.
first of all, you should think about your sample size. You should increase the sample size first. Okay. And overall study is good. Overall study is good. And the mediating variable, whatever you have selected is good. Hmm. You can proceed, but think about the sample size.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I'll be reaching you people as well.
Okay. My best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So moving on, does anyone have any other questions? So moving on, we have Nisha Rani, who will be presenting a paper on artificial intelligence for climate resilient agriculture in Haryana, transforming farming systems for a sustainable future. Mrs. Risha Rani.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yes, what's the issue?
Oh, ma'am, Nisha Rani, I was asking.
Nisha Rani, you are not audible.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Ma'am, can we move ahead?
Ma'am, you are not audible. I would request you to stop sharing the screen and we will move ahead.
Nisha Rani, okay, let's start with Paramveer, Paramveer then.
Yes.
Okay, we are having short of time.
Paramveer Kaur.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I'm
Yes.
audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Please share your screen, and it's a humble request. Kindly wind it up in 3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen is...
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
You have to share your entire screen, then only you will be able to present.
Is it working, ma'am?
Yes, it's working. You can continue.
Okay. My name is Paramveer Kaur and I'm a research scholar at GNA Business School, Punjab, Fagwara. So my topic for today's topic is the impact of AI-powered white goods on consumer purchasing decisions. So begin with an introduction. The rise of AI has transformed the way we live, work, and interact with the technology. One area where AI is having a significant impact is in the consumer goods industry, particularly in the development of AI-powered white goods. White goods such as refrigerators, washing machines, and air conditioners are essential appliances in modern households. The integration of AI in white goods has enabled manufacturers to create smart, connected, and autonomous appliances that can learn and adapt to consumer behavior. AI-powered white goods can optimize energy consumption, predict maintenance needs, and provide personalized recommendations to consumers. However, the impact of AI-powered white goods on consumer purchasing decisions is not fully yet understood as AI-powered white goods become increasingly prevalent in the market. It's essential to investigate how consumers perceive and respond to these innovative products. So these are the keywords that I use in my study: artificial intelligence, AI-powered white goods, consumer intention, and role of AI. So the next slide covers the recent trends of the consumers. According to the statistical reports, revenue in the smart appliances market is projected to reach US $68.7 billion in 2025. Revenue is expected to show an annual growth rate CAGR 2025 to 2029 of 9.81%, resulting in a projected market value of US $99.9 billion by 2029. In the smart appliances market, the number of active households is expected to amount to 643.9 million users by 2029. Household penetration will be 12.9% in 2025 and is expected to hit 30.8% by 2029. The average revenue per installed smart home currently is expected to amount to US dollar 2.262.00. So this is the example of the growing demand and opportunities and the policies that support and increasing the investments of the powered white goods. Next one is the review of literature. According to the studies of Dr. Bhadrappa Haralia, 2025 examines that how artificial intelligence influences the consumer behavior. The study highlights AI's role in processing both the structured data like demographic and transaction histories and unstructured data such as social media content, enabling businesses and gain deeper insights into consumer preferences and behaviors. Moreover, the study also highlights that the extensive interaction between consumer and companies throughout the buyer's journey is fostering innovation, thereby altering consumer habits and behavior. The next study was given by Biari and Garamount in the year 2022. They aim to examine the influence of various AI tools on consumer purchasing behavior, particularly in the context of e-commerce. The study also discusses the role of social product recommendations and social media dependency in shaping the consumer consideration sets. Social product recommendations leverage AI to suggest products based on user behavior and preferences, which can significantly impact purchasing intention. Similarly, consumers' reliance on social media for product information and reviews affect their decision-making process of the consumers. So the next study was given by Viswas and Patra. They examined the role of AI in transforming the consumer buying behavior. They highlighted that how AI-driven analysis enhance the market's abilities to understand and predict the purchasing patterns of the consumers. Frogy 2012 emphasized the impact of social traits, products, attributes, and marketing strategies on consumer behavior, while Mosaic 2009 found that the brand awareness plays a crucial role in shaping the consumer confidence and purchase decisions. So, and the next study was given by Karthika and Vijayanan in the 2017, who examined in their research that the purchase behavior and attitude of buyers towards selected white goods such as refrigerator, washing machine, mixer grinder, wet grinder, and ACs. They aim to study the buying behavior for selected white goods, and they aim to identify the factors that influence the buyers during the purchase of white goods. The study was done in the Trichypura Valley, that is the district of the Tamil Nadu, India, with 500 participants. They concluded that the satisfaction level of the consumer towards the durable products and their experience in the retail outlet during the purchase and after sales service seems to be optimistic. And the last study was done by the Rajan and Priyanka in the 2013 have studied the consumer behavior towards selected household appliances such as refrigerator, induction cooker, mixer grinder, wet grinder, kitchen stove, and microwave oven. The relationship between the consumer behavior and home appliance items can thus be viewed as an individual's purchases and use of products and services, where these decisions are a reflection of the consumer's lifestyle. The main objective of the study were to know the factors influencing the purchase intention, decision making, and the buyer's decision in the case of non-availability of their favorite brand in purchase consideration. So this was the research objective of my study and the theoretical model. Research objective was to examine the role of AI features, brand reputation, price, and data privacy concern on purchase intentions of white goods. AI features, brand reputation, price, data privacy concern on the basis of education level with the purchase intentions. So the research methodology that I use in my study is quantitative research design, cross-sectional survey method use, and focus on consumers with experience of awareness of AI-powered white
Excuse me, ma'am, please wind up fast.
Okay, sir. And the target population was urban and semi-urban consumers. Purposes sampling method was used, and sample of 400 respondents were considered for final analysis. And the research methodology that I use, primary data using a structured questionnaire, sections of demographics that I have considered AI features, brand reputation, price, data privacy, and purchase intentions. 5-point Likert scale will be used for all the constructs. Independent variables that are AI features, brand reputation, price, and data privacy concerns. And dependent variable was purchase likelihood. Data analysis technique, regression analysis technique was used to examine the relationship among the variables. So this was the final data analysis and results. And the findings of the study, these are: AI features influence the purchase attentions, brand reputation matters, price sensitivity exists, and the data privacy concerns reduce the intentions of the consumers, and educational level act as a moderator. And the managerial applications of my study are: brand should highlighted AI-enabled functionalities and their practical benefits, especially in marketing campaigns targeting tech-savvy and educated consumers. Investing in brand-building activities and ensuring consistent product quality will further encourage the purchases. Flexible financing options, exchange offers, or seasonal discounts can appeal to both price-sensitive and brand-conscious consumers. Companies must emphasize their commitment to data privacy through certifications, clear their policies, and consumer education campaigns. Segment consumer based on educational levels to personalize marketing messages addressing both technology benefits and privacy reassurances. So, to conclude, the study highlights that AI features and brand reputation significantly enhance consumers' purchase intentions for white goods, especially among educated consumers who value technological advancements and brand reliability. However, price remains a crucial barrier with both high and low educated consumers displaying price sensitivity. Additionally, data privacy concerns negatively impact the purchase decisions, particularly for AI-powered appliances with educated consumers expressing heightened apprehension. To maximize the market potentials, companies should emphasize the practical benefits of AI features, build strong brand reputations, offer competitive pricing, and ensure transparent data privacy policies. Tailoring marketing strategies based on consumer educational levels can further drive option and foster trust in AI-enabled white goods. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Padambir. Does anyone have any questions?
So no questions from my side. All the best, Parambir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So further moving, we would like to conclude the session. We would like to thank all our presenters, participants, and attendees for their enthusiasm, dedication, and meaningful contributions throughout this session. Your insights and engagement have truly enriched this conference. We would like to extend our best wishes to all the presenters for a happy research journey and a bulk of impactful publications ahead. May this conference serve as a stepping stone toward your future academic and professional endeavors. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, there is network error when I going to present. So now.
Okay, you can try once more. We are having short of time. Please be hurry up. Just come directly to your research methodology. We are having short of time due to network issues of many people. We are about to, have our different commitments. We have to fulfill our different commitments.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
I take 2 or 3 minutes.
With the permission of Indrajit sir, can we directly come to, research methodology?
Yes, that will be better. Come to your objective and then methodology and
then
findings.
Findings, yes. Only
Okay,
3 slides, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. These are my objective: to access farmer awareness and attitude towards AI in agriculture by evaluating their understanding of AI-driven tools, confidence in using them, and the challenges affecting adoption. And the second objective is to analyze the economic and productivity impact of AI adoption in farming by examining its role in improving efficiency, reducing cost, and enhancing farmers' income. And third objective is to identify barriers to adoption in agriculture and propose practical solutions by exploring financial, infrastructure, and technological challenges while recommending strategies to enhance accessibility and usability. And methodology, I used mixed method approach combining surveys, interviews, and field observation from 51 farmers across Haryana. And they are from Rewari district, from Gurugram, and from Jhajjar district. And the field observation of 51 quantitative analysis include descriptive statistics, correlation, and regression to access AI adoption factors. Qualitative data is thematically analyzed to capture farmer experience. Triangulation, pre-testing, and multiple researcher validation ensure the accuracy and reliability of findings. Here is my analysis and findings. Farmers of Haryana, sorry. Farmers of Haryana, sorry. Increasing using AI tool for agriculture decision making, 64% rely on AI driven weather forecasting, which help them plan sowing and harvesting schedule efficiently. How many still depend on traditional method, with 20% using experience and 40% using TV and radio updates? AI has shown a positive economic impact, with 47.1% of farmer reporting improved decision making, while 23.5% highlighted cost reduction, suggesting AI adoption lead to smart resource management and financial benefits. AI-driven pest prediction tool and automatic irrigation have resulted in better crop yield, with 17.6% of farmer observing increased productivity. However, barriers remain, including lack of training, 45.1%, high cost 31.4%, and poor digital connectivity shows 9.8% respondent. Addressing these challenges will be crucial for wider adoption. Many farmers express willingness to adopt AI, with 55% planning to implement AI tools within 5 years, provided they receive financial and technical support. Result and discussion. Regression analysis shows a strong correlation between AI awareness and adoption, meaning farmers with access to AI-based weather forecasting are more inclined to trust and integrate AI into other aspects of farming. And qualitative interviews indicate that most farmers see AI as beneficial but feel unprepared to use it effectively, necessitating extensive training programs. Financial concentrate remains a key deterrent, as 31.4% of farmers cite affordability as a major limitation, reinforcing the need of government initiatives and low-cost AI solutions. Recommendation and policy perspectives. Prioritize financial support, since 41.2% of farmer prefer free trial or government sponsored AI services. Financial assistance should be key policy pillar. Expand training program, with 34% of respondents advocated for AI training program. The government should invest in workshop and field demonstration. Enhance digital connectivity, the 6% preference for digital infrastructure investment highlight and the need for better internet access and technological resource in rural areas. Encourage private sector involvement, given that 42% support partnership with private companies. Collaboration with agri-tech firms should be strengthened. Ensure user-friendly AI tools, with 23.5% of farmer favoring easy to use AI application. The government should promote the development of initiative AI interfaces. Raise awareness, since 11.8% believe that success stories influence adoption. Publishing case studies and testimonials should be part of outreach strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha Rani. We have a network issue from the Indrajit sir. So, okay, that's all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best, everyone. Have a happy publication and research journey. Can we all have a group photo? Please switch on your cameras, everyone.
Please switch on your cameras.
Yes, can we have a group photograph? Shubhojit, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Done?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
Johnny,
so
sir.
much,
Thank you, all the
everyone.
researchers.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
students, for being the moderators. Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you all.